When you have a buyer that is moving from one location to the next location and they have an employment contract and they're not going to start their new job until after the move, we've talked about the other things that you need, but there's one hang up that could be very easy. But we want to make sure that we have explored it and we know what's going on before we go under contract. And that is assets. This makes sense if you think about it. If I've got somebody that's moving from one town to the next town and their job isn't going to start for, say, 45 or 60 days after we close, wouldn't it make sense that the lender would want to see that they've got the assets to cover the mortgage payment and sometimes other bills that are due during that time frame, since they're not going to have income? This is something that is often required when we have somebody moving from one place to the next. And it's something that we want to plan for. Now, if they're selling one house and using that money to buy the next house, we can just structure that to where we're not using all of their cash so we have some extra reserves. But sometimes it's not that easy. Very important that your buyer, when they are going to talk to their lender and they're talking to their agent about moving from one place to the other, that we truly get all ducks in the row. We've already talked about that employment contract, and we've talked about the timing and how much time you need between when you close and when you start the job. But it's also important that we talked about the nest egg. Do we have a nest egg? Do we have enough money in that reserve to cover not just the new down payment on the house and the closing costs, but also a little bit of money in that reserve nest egg that's going to stay in the account after we close to make sure that they can cover their bills, at least their mortgage in most cases, for the time between when they quit one job and start the next job and don't have a paycheck. This is important, and it's something that can sneak up on you if you're not making sure you have that discussion right up front. There's a path to buying a home in this situation as long as you meet some of these criteria. But it's important that you know what to expect so that they don't get caught off guard and have a rough move. That's the last thing we want to do as professionals, is make something that's already stressful, because moving is stressful. Not sure if you've done that recently, but moving is stressful. But making it more stressful by not letting them know what to expect. So go and make your own video with this information. Do all three parts that we've done this week so that you can really be the guru in your market for somebody that's moving in from out of town. Giving them peace of mind and reassuring them that you know the process, or you have a partner that together you guys know the process, is huge. So remember, rechargingwithchampions.com, go to the members area, and that's where you're going to find your July content calendar. That's the all new content calendar with tons of content. This will be in there with a script for you to use if you would like a script, or at least read over before you start to make your own video. That's the goal here. I want you to take this information and go be the guru in your market. Go explain to the people in your sphere that you are truly the guru when it comes to moving from one place to the other, because that peace of mind is very valuable. You want to be the guru in your market for those transactions. Go out there, make your own content, and we'll see you next week.